All right, I got time to answer some questions from my last video. Basically, the last video I had posted, Scholas Cybersecurity Bootcamp. If you don't know, I went to Scholas Cybersecurity Bootcamp in 2021 and been working in the cyber field ever since. Now I'm a security engineer at a pretty large company, and I do want to get more into the role and just some pros and some cons about just SOC life. But first, let me answer some of the questions. Somebody asked, after the program, did you retain the lab materials, or was the on-the-job training your best teacher? On-the-job training, to me, is always going to be the best teacher, because everything that you learn is kind of like the theory, but every company do everything so different, right? This is my third company I'm with, and just the all of the SOPs and the way you do things, it's just completely different at this company. It's also like a internal SOC, so that's why some things may be different. But yeah. So I would say, to answer that question, on the job training is best. Like, the lab is good for knowing like just the theory on how to investigate things. Like, that'll stay the same. Like, investigating alerts and stuff will stay the same. But I'll say that's a small part of the job, right? Big part is not understanding like the different processes and what companies have. So yeah, on the job training, it's the best teacher. I'm 15 weeks. 15 weeks is a short amount of time. I think they meant to say, is 15 weeks a short amount of time? I would say it's a short. 15 weeks is a short amount of time to get in cybersecurity. I think so. Unless you, it kind of depends on the role, but unless you, in those 15 weeks, are doing, like, let's say, as soon as you wake up, let's say you woke up at 8 o'clock and you started at 9, or let's say you woke up at 7 and started at 8 a.m., and you should be kind of like working on something from 8 to 8, something like that. If you're doing going that hard every day, no missed days, then yeah, you can get in. 15 weeks will be enough time, for a SOC role at least. This person mentioned it's really 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I probably said something in the video. I don't know what they're really referring to, but they're saying that the Scholas program is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. But yeah, sure, but it might be 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. But you would want to stay working at so if it starts at 9, you'll want to get up at 8 and you'll get up at 7, eat, and at 8 go over the materials, so you're good on those materials, just kind of at a high level. Then at 9 start. At 4 o'clock, the lecture might be over or whatever, but you want to continue that up until 9 o'clock, or later, however late you can stay up to study the material. So it might say 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., sure, but that's not, you shouldn't stop at 4 and you shouldn't start at 9, right? Not if you're trying to get into it. And that's kind of like a con with this field, I think, but no. After you complete the course, how long until you landed a job? I think this is what a lot of people ask me about Scholas, not necessarily on YouTube, but in person. And I landed a job at Scholas, right after the program, because one, I was like the valedictorian of the class or whatever, right? And two, I was lucky because they had a program that I can go into, or a job that I can go into after the program. So a company came, they interviewed a few people, and they hired, I believe, 4 of us from that cohort. So yeah, we got lucky to jump straight into cyber from there. And from our cohort, it's let me see, I think it was 4 or 5 of us, but I know for sure one person is still in cyber at a pretty big company. So yeah, for me, I had a job before I finished. The job started a little bit after I finished, but I already knew I had the job, right? So yeah, if you get lucky and you're really, really doing well, and if a company comes and you get to interview them, just do well. And for Scholas, I would say for the interview process, they train you well, but I think if you need anything technical, a lot of that stuff you need to be kind of like studying after the course. So yeah, so to answer that question, I had a job before the program was over, and I think that I might have been lucky in and getting that. Can you talk about the job applying process? How did you learn your job after the program? This is sort of the same question. They said the cyber courses does not have any partner companies. We had a partner company when when I did the one in New York. It's the same answer, right, from the previous question. The job process, I literally already had a job. I actually, you know what, I had pretty much two offers, and one was for something different. One was like a finance thing. I do have a finance degree, so one of those jobs was sort of like oh, actually, all right. So I was in the running for three jobs. And one was like a business analyst role because I was a business analyst. One was like a finance role, but they liked my business analyst background. And the only true role was cybersecurity. The only true cybersecurity role, I only got one true cybersecurity role, and that's the reason I chose that one. It paid the least amount of money, and I just want to jump into cyber because I did the program and everything. If I go back, I probably do something different. But yeah. Or maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. I think I chose right, especially seeing how where my career landed. So yeah. So again, I know that's a question about the job prospects and how everything went. And somebody said they got into the IT program. Some of the program is worth it based on your experience. Based on my experience, again, I went extremely hard. I had I did home labs. I still have a home lab, and just to learn tools and things of that nature. So I just wanted to do a quick video because um, and just to talk about it. But let's talk about the job process. Again, I think there's some people that really do a good job at talking about this, right? Now, I don't want to be a cyber influencer or anything like that. I think there's people that already like Josh Madakar, I believe I'm saying his name right. He has he gives really great points, and maybe I can link it here or put it he'll put his video link inside of the description. But he gives first he gives good resumes. He gives good advice, like actual good advice when it comes to cybersecurity. And the way he explained how to do like the job hunt. Again, I was extremely lucky with just interviewing with that company and having some others lined up. But he gives like some realistic things, something like you need to apply to 100 jobs or whatever. He have good metrics. And so I think Josh Madakar would be a good thing for that question, because for me it's a little bit different. Even when I got laid off, I had found a job the next month, and while I was at that job, it wasn't the job that I necessarily liked, but then I applied to this role that I'm at now, and I ended up getting that role. So not too much time out, right? But again, I knew I was going to be laid off like months ahead of time, so it allowed me to kind of like start preparing to get another job. So that's how like the job prospect is now. I guess I'll test the waters. In today's market, and maybe I'll follow the Josh Madakar method of how he says, how you should keep track of jobs and stuff, and then maybe I'll upload that and say, this is my experience level, and this is my experience level, and this is kind of like what I'm getting in the market. Maybe I'll do something like that. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I think next time I want to start talking a bit more about the soccer role, because a lot of people, so I have nurses, people of all fields, like in my personal life, would say, how could I get into cyber? I want to be a SOC analyst. And I always wonder, like, why would you want to do that? I mean, I think the job is more, for some people, like I had people come from IT that says the job was boring. I think the job could be a bit stressful, so, and I'll go more into it. I think the job can be like, if you don't like context switching too much, I like more deep work. And in this case, I would say the SOC is kind of like a lot more, context switching, because something might come up that's more important. And if so yeah, and I thought at the analyst level, that's fine. I thought maybe at the engineer level, I get to do more deep work, but that's for another video. I do want to talk about that, but I think this is all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you can hear me well. I just want to do a quick video, and yeah, that's it. Peace.